Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Dublin's Fair City. What a week this has been, and I'm sure I'd like to thank all of you for coming and making the excitement of this week the crescendo that it's going to be. We're all excited, looking forward to Saturday night. I'd like to welcome all of our esteemed athletes who equally are excited and prepared for Saturday. You know, it's ironic that we are here in a building from 1684. It was once a hospital for retiring war veterans, people who had come back from battle, come back from a bloody fight. And here we are, ironically, preparing for Saturday, one of the greatest events that we have had here in the Europe, Middle East and Africa region for some time. It's only fair to say that since we were here back in 2009, the business continues to develop, continues to grow, and before we turn it all over to the fighters, it's worth noting some of the landmarks that we're setting here. Commercially, there'll be approximately 355 million people watching this event on Saturday night. Here in Ireland, 99% of the population will be able to access this event live on national television for the first time. Obviously, BT Sport, clearly our major partner, will be broadcasting the event. And there's no doubt that 178 countries on Fight Pass sets a new record for UFC in this region. Lo and behold, we launch this week our relationship with EA Sports, one of our major sponsors who launched the UFC Electronic Arts game this week, went straight to number 1 in the charts. And so the momentum continues, but the most important part, and the piece that keeps us all together, is the commitment, the dedication, and the passion of those 22 fighters on Saturday night. With that, I'm going to hand it over to all of you to ask the questions to all of us. Thank you.
I can start with Connor, obviously. This was like the worst kept secret that you would wind up headlining this card. We knew about the card well before we knew just when you'd be back. So I wonder if you could take us through sort of the build-up and the anticipation to healing from your surgery and knowing that this was a future.
It's a dream come true to be back here in my nation on the map. As you heard, 99% of the population of our watching this fight. The country was shut down for this fight. We're on terrestrial TV, and I don't think there's a fighter that in the UFC's history that has done what I've done in the space that I've done it. And Saturday night when I go out there and put the ego away in the first round, I'll prove my worth.
Yeah, just a question for Diego, please. Diego, obviously you've moved away from Jackson's before this fight. First of all, what change stuff got to your training, and also have you been in contact with Jackson about a game plan at all for this fight, or have you put guys in with that kind of?
Yeah, I actually, as soon as I got a call for fight against Conor, I go to the second day to Gary Jackson of Albuquerque. We never separate. Is the reason I go to San Antonio is because I want to improve my jiu-jitsu skills. I want to bring a lot of jiu-jitsu for this fight. And there I have my Brazilian coach. He's been with me for a long time, 10 years. So Gary Jackson, he wish me good luck and we can jump. On Saturday night, it's going to be a great fight. So I'm going to do my best out there.
Question for Brad Pickett. Brad, we've rarely seen you emotional and angry with an opponent. Could you talk us through that and how you've managed to keep that focus? Because there is always a danger for fighters when they're fighting with emotion and anger.
Well, if everyone knows me as a
fight, I always keep myself to myself. I'm very respectable to anyone who does the sport to any level, because it takes a lot out of the fighter, emotionally and physically, to do what we do. So I respect everyone from fighting in the UFC to fighting on a grassroots level. And yeah, so when I was fighting him, I called the first time, we're live fighting him, things get said and stuff, and I heard a lot of trash on the underground. Some people say, hey, check this for out and all that sort of stuff. And, yeah, I looked at it a little bit in there, and I just found it, what some people saying was quite disrespectful, you know, and like I say, I'm a very respectable person. Didn't bother me too much because I was going to get to fight him in March, so I was like, well, there's my redemption right there. And then obviously he got injured, like I said, that disappointed me. I wasn't like, I think some people thought I thought he was faking it. I don't think that's a case at all. You never fake an injury in this sport. I don't think he's scared to fight me at all. Well, you're not scared to fight him if you're in the UFC. But yeah, it jarred me a little bit because it took away my redemption. The thing what actually annoyed me more about it is afterwards he continued to keep chatting, and I was just like, man, if you fight me, you can talk as much as you want, but otherwise you just not shut up. But now that's done now, and now we're fighting, and this camp actually, it was, you know, not too bad. I don't think he said that much, you know, I didn't take that much notice, to be honest. I was busy training, and yeah, you know, yeah.
Right, Ian sitting there grinning away at your comments. Ian, you feel you've got on big street perhaps?
Yes, I do.
I guess we call it a moral victory. I don't know, I was having fun and he got his feelings hurt, so it happens.
Brad, I understand you're also a little bit disappointed that the UFC have chosen to announce Chris Conferece challenging Demetrius Johnson next for the flyweight title before what you believe will be a great fight on Saturday night, and they can make the decision after that.
Yeah, I think I could go to Chris Conferece and stuff like that, but when I looked at my fight with Ian McCall, I think personally he had a fight with Demetrius Johnson that arguably he won. I had beat Demetrius Johnson. I just think the winner of this fight made sense, you know, but I'm not making those decisions, but all my job is to do is win Saturday, put myself in a good position, and like, I just feel a little bit that mine is fight is kind of going under the radar a little bit. I think, you know, people who follow my career, I never chat anything really. I'm very humble, give myself to myself, but this is the first time I honestly truly believe that I'm going to be the first UFC European champion, you know, and I truly believe that. I don't say things, you know, just for the sake of saying it, and yeah, and like Ian calls in my way on Saturday, and you know, I get my job done Saturday, and then I'll go on to Demetrius. If it has to wait a bit longer than I would like to, so be it.
Thanks, Ed. Final question for Conor and Diego. Conor, is there any pressure on you? You always talk the talk and then you walk the walk. Is there any pressure on you with you very much being the star of this card and having to deliver on Saturday night?
You know, for me, there is no pressure for me. Pressure is an illusion, you know, but I want that illusion of pressure, you know. I keep more on, give me more pressure. So when I put this guy away and make it look easy, which I will do, people will say, how did he do that? You know, let's skip the queue, let's jump this guy ahead of the queue and put him straight into the title shot. Saturday night, they're going to see a true number one contender here on Saturday night.
Finally, Diego, in the Countdown show, you felt that you got to the point where you called Conor a clown at one point, that he talks like a clown. Do you think you were saying that because you feel he's underestimating you in this fight?
He's talking right now. It's just like that, you know. You guys think he's gonna do that to that easy, that quick. He's can do it, you know, you never know, but he's not gonna be that easy when he's been talking. So this is why I call him a clown, you know, so you guys can see everything there. So everybody have a mouth, everybody talk whatever they want. I've been waiting for this fight, Conor. He's not gonna be the Diego we saw before. He's gonna be the new Diego from the 2 for 14, the ultimate fight. Knock out everybody else the first round.
Question for Conor. Conor,
magnitude of this event, the opponent actually doesn't come into the equation. If 5 weeks ago it was Cole Miller, the opponent changed but nobody batted an eyelid, the tickets still sold out. You know, the magnitude of the event, it's set in stone. The performance I'm going to put in will stick my kind. They brought up Swanson over here, and I told them today outside the elevator, I said, they're bringing you over so you can sit front row and take a good look at a real number one contender.
What was his response to that?
You're right.
Is Diego right now on time than Cole Miller?
Yeah, I definitely think Diego has a better career than Cole Miller. He won the Ultimate Fighter where Cole Miller did not. He has wins over opponents that have beaten Cole Miller. It's a more pleasing matchup for the fans. Ultimately, the result will remain the same.
A question for Conor first. Conor, how special will it be to walk out on Saturday night having seen some of your teammates already fight on the night?
Yeah, this is the culmination of years of hard work and years of dedication and years of a vision. I had this vision and this belief that I was going to bring the UFC back, but I struggled the neck and I said it many times. And now here we are, and it is upon us. So why do you have it down me now? You know what I mean? I'm going to embrace every bit of this walk, you know, but I'm not going to get too hyped, but I'm not going to get too timid. I'm going to stay in that perfect storm and get the job done for my hometown, put my nation on the map, do what hasn't been done before.
Question for Gunny. Gunny, how good was it having all your teammates strength and nicely with you for a month or so?
It meant everything for this camp, you know. Having all these guys over, we've trained a lot in the past, and they've come over a few times, and I've been over there, and this camp has been the best yet, by far.
Question for Brad. Brad, I think I'm right in saying that you asked to be on the Dublin card. Why did you want to get onto this card of all cards during the summer?
I've actually never been to Dublin before, so I like the reason. I like finding Europe, to be honest. I've talked about it quite a lot of times. I like finding Europe. I have more personal friends and family to come and watch me fight. And if you fight the same guys anywhere around the world, why not do it in Europe?
And then just to finish off that end of the table, Norman, this is your first UFC fight where your entire camp was in Next Generation Northern Ireland in Ballymena. Did that make it special again for you, or was you prepared to do a bit of work in San Diego and then come back and finish off in
I just felt alright to train here, you know. I got a great coach behind me, great team, great training partners. I believe my training here back home. I learned a lot in America, especially in the last year or so, you know. I really up my game, you know. I'm really tough and I'm taking me good everywhere. So I'm hoping for a great match on Saturday night. I hope this guy comes around because I'm coming to finish him.
Conor, was it true you told your coach John Cameron back in 2009 that you headlined next year's card taking back to Dublin?
Yeah, that is true. You know, I was a little kid in the stands dreaming the UFC 93. It was like 6 years ago now. I said to my coach, I want to bring them back and I want to headline the show. You know, I have a habit of predicting the future, and these visions I have keep coming true. So I want to encourage them. When I get these clear pictures and these clear visions in my head of what's to come, you know, I embrace them and I let it be known. And then, you know, for me, I love saying what I'm going to do and then going out and doing it. That to me is energized. That to me gets me going. That's what I love to do.
So without looking past Saturday night, do you have any clear images or what's going to hold in the next 12 months? Because you said you don't think it's going to come back to the OJ next time, but have to be somewhere bigger.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly believe right now we could have sold out a football stadium. We could have sold out Pro Park. We could have sold out the Aviva. The venue is too small, there's no doubt about it. As far as the path, you know, who knows what way the path will lead, you know. It changes each step, but the vision I'm having, a clear vision, is that gold belt wrapped around my waist by the end of 2014, and it's as clear as day. And I'll just carry on in the gym, carry on learning. Of course, Saturday night, the job is to be done.
Just for Norman, as I said before, a bit of a turnaround in yourself and your confidence, how you're conducting yourself in the last couple of months. You've gotten over the UFC jitters at the start of your career. How important was the finish on Saturday night? Put an exclamation mark on the performance.
You know, everyone wants to see people finish fights. Before I joined the UFC, that's the way I went about my fights. I can finish first round. You know, I've got a lot of confidence over the last year, you know, training in America. I kind of seen what level I was at training with guys like Ross Pearson, Miles Jury, Mike Chandler, you know, and I'm going right up there. And after I put this bit away here and Saturday night, you know, I want to talk to my opponent, you know, I want to sit and lie back and just be the little quiet boy, you know, I'm here to challenge for the title and I ain't taking a step back from no one.
Question for Zach Cummins. Zach, you obviously you're filling in for an injured fight in this fight. Can you just tell me the thought process when you were after the fight? Was it the fact that it was a co-main event? Were you bothered with the shortish notice you got? You know, I feel there's a few people who won't fight winning because of the undefeated record and how it is for the UFC. So just tell us about your thought process and taking the fight.
Yeah, I actually, right after my last fight with Conferece, they asked me if I would take if I wanted a short turnaround, and I felt great, didn't get hurt in the fight, so I wanted one. They actually offered me a fight to fight tonight in Atlantic City against Kenny Robertson. I accepted that fight, and the very next day, I get a call from Joe Silva and say, hey, you know, we kind of had something happen. Would you rather fight 3 days later to come in event in Dublin and, you know, fight Gunnar Nelson? I've been a fan of Gunner's. I love his style. I jumped at the opportunity. When you're here in the UFC, picking your fights is just ridiculous. Anybody that doesn't want to fight, turn fights down just because they're scared of some, you know, a tough fight, a tough opponent. Everybody's good now, so it's kind of pointless. I want to prove that I'm the best. I want to prove that I'm, you know, top in the world, and you have to do that by fighting other guys at that level. And this is my opportunity.
Question for Norman. People might have forgotten that Mr. Katani on the end there on the right hand side is the most experienced fighter on this card. Can you talk us through some of the dangers he brings to you in this fight?
When I first got the call by Silva, you know, I got his name, you know, my first impression was who is it, you know, I checked up his record, you know, and I thought, right, this guy's ain't no slouch, you know, he's a tough, crafty veteran, been around a long time. So I'm hoping for the best for Tana. This is the same opportunity at UFC, so I'm prepared for the best. And but the same, it's always going to be the same result. I'm coming home with a win, you know, I'm back on home turf, and I'm ready. I'm 100% mentally focused. My training, my weight's perfect. So I'm ready for this guy. You know, I hope it comes standing. I want to stand by, you know, because my strike is very underestimated. I could take down the fence, and get on the floor, and get everywhere. So I'm hoping it comes and comes forward, you know, because that's the type of fights I want. I want people to come forward that really test my abilities, and I ain't here to hang around, you know. I'm a dangerous fighter for anyone.
This question's goes off on a little bit of a tangent for you, Norman, for you as well, Connor. Before you both came into the UFC, you were kind of headed on a collision course facing each other at some point. When you sit there, Norman, and Connor's headlining here in Dublin, do you project forwards, perhaps see yourself maybe fighting Connor in a headline event in Ireland?
Possibly there's a good opportunity that could happen, but right now I think we're on different paths at the minute, you know. The UFC has they got their way for Conor, you know, I'm on my path, but depending on where Conor really wants to compete that, you know, if he wants to move up and compete in lightweight, you know, I'm more than welcome to the challenge, you know. You really think this show sold out quick, Crook Park sold out 10 times quicker, so it would be, you know, a bit interesting in my couple of styles, you know. Conor's a very good fighter, I've always followed him from the start, and I knew he was going to make it to the big time. I wish him all the best in this journey.
Thank you.
Question for Yuki Kanani. First of all, welcome to Warriors. 7 years since you fought in the UFC, did you ever think you'd get to walk the Premier organisation?
Very excited that he's been able to train and get into good shape so they come here and take part in the tournament.
Coming up against one of a well-known man, this island, Norman Park. How have you prepared for Norman?
You may not have not essential not believe me.
Norman, we haven't seen you finish in the last 3 or 4 fights. How important is it now? You're in Ireland, you're going to have 9,000 screaming Irish fans. How important is it to finish the time here?
I remember the last time I fought here in 2010, I fought against Tom McGuire and I finished in the second round by guillotine, you know. A really good, respectable fighter, you know, and this guy is different here, you know. I'm aware of his technique, I'm aware where he's good at, you know, I'm going to fight to his weaknesses, you know, and I'm going to fight to my strengths, you know. I feel like I'm physically stronger than him. I'm a strong 55er, I'm explosive and fast, and my striking is 10 times better than his, so I hope he's prepared, you know. I hope he's prepared, he's worked his hands, you know, he's kept his level head, you know, he's coming into Ireland, you know, he's coming into my second home here, so he's going to feel it on Saturday night, you know, and I'm hoping he's coming forward.
Conor, when the history books of Irish MMA are written, it'll be Robbie Moore, John Calvin, Andy Ryan, who will be known as the founders. But how important is it for you to be known as the protagonist of the success story that is Irish MMA?
Yeah, that's something I can take with me forever. You know, the man who kicked down the door and helped pave the way for the next generation of fighters coming up. So, you know, before me there was no path. There was no one I could look to, no other Irishman I could look to and say, that guy, you know, I'm going to go follow his route. We created this path. You know, you think I'm good, and I am good. Wait till you see the next generation.
And question for Zach Williams. Zach, a lot of fighters show emotion during fight week and during fight, which can be beneficial to their opponents and play off it. Is there any danger for you knowing fighting a guy like Gunny who shows a lot of emotion in the cage?
I actually think I'm very similar to him. I'm actually a little bit more, but you know, this is straight sport for me. It's competition. I love to go out and compete and win. And so him not having emotion, it's not going to do anything to me. When we get in there one-on-one inside that cage, you know, there's going to be some emotion come out. You might not see it, but I'll see it in his eye, and that's all I know. That's all I care about.
Question for Gunnar Nelson. Gunnar, over here. You said you were working with striking a lot the last couple of years. If you could pick out the fight ball ideally, would it be a submission or not very finish?
No pick. Wherever the fight goes, I'll take it. I'm all right, whatever. On the field or on the ground. Doesn't matter to me.
Sorry, just a question for you. You caught on injuries after the Santos fight. Your hand and your thigh, I believe it was. How fit are you going into this fight?
You know, I made everything that, but I'm in great shape. Technically, I've been better than I've ever been. I haven't competed in a year, and I've got some improved skills that I'm ready to show off. But besides that, I'm healthy.
For Gary as well, Gary, Conor, and Norman mentioned that, you know, Crow Park and set out to the Eden Stadium. Is this going to be a regular annual event going in Dublin?
Here in Dublin. Well, you can only judge it by the track record, so the tickets went on sale and they sold in 25 minutes. And I think Connor's absolutely right, we could have sold this 10 times over. You know, one of the things that's becoming more and more apparent now in every market, whether it's Stockholm, whether it's London, whether it's Dublin, you know, tomorrow night there are 9 countries represented. There are 5 fighters from the Emerald Isle. You have to be a brave man to go and fight away from home when the crowd can be as live as they are on Saturday night. So there's going to be a day here pretty soon when there's going to be a stadium in Ireland.
Yeah, good around Conor, respect to the way. Obviously, you guys have you've trained a lot over the years together, but for this fight, especially in Iceland, it's characters are very different, charisma-wise, you know, and the way you prepare yourself. What have you learned from one another in this time, you know, training each other's pockets and being so close together for this guy?
You know, maybe charisma-wise or whatever, you know, we might be different, but when it comes to preparation, we are identical. You know, we are curious about this game, and I've learned so much from this man and his mind frame and his approach. And I'm forever grateful. This has been phenomenal. This is the first time we were on a car together, main and co-main. UFC event, fastest selling. You know, this is special. This whole camp has been special. Our preparation has gone flawless. Starting on, you will see the future 170-pound champion in Gunnar Nelson, and you will see the future 145-pound champion in myself. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, and for Gunnar, what would you like from Conor?
I've always said we're very different, we see different things, but we think in similar ways, so we're able to feed off each other. He might see something from a different angle, and then he can show me, and then it fits to me. So we're such a great team because of this. I'm very grateful to have him as my training partner.
Question. Well, you're cool. There's a lot of talk pre-fight before the Conferece or DJ fight got announced that Pickett defeats you, that you maybe would be next in line for the title. Where would a win over Pickett put you doing?
Beating Brad, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a guaranteed title shot. Will I take a title shot? Sure. You know, Demetrius, he has something in his mind. And, I mean, I don't mind earning what I deserve, and if I have to fight again after this, then so be it. If I have to fight 5 more times, that's fine. But of course, taking a fast shot's always nice.
Demetrius Johnson around this week actually picked you to defeat Brad Pickett. So can we get a reaction from you on that prediction and also from the kid as well?
Demetrius is a smart guy.
I guess Demetrius has wishful thinking about the fight at the end of me.
A question for you again. In your first fight in the UFC, you had a controversial draw with Demetrius Johnson. A lot of people thought you won that fight. Do you look back at that now and think, shit, on another night, I could have got the win there, might have got a win then in the final, could be champion now. Do you look back with a little bit of regret about that fight with them?
Of course not. Don't ever think about how my life is completely changed. But yeah, of course, it's torture. And I maybe let it affect me in a negative way sometimes. But if you use it as fuel, it can definitely make you very, very hungry.
Obviously, your goal is to win on Saturday night. What are your goals outside of the sport?
Me?
Yes, definitely.
I don't really know. I can't get outside of this sport. I'm in this MMA bubble, in this bubble of chasing that dream and going towards that goal. I don't really have nothing else in my head. I don't think about nothing else except this. I can't even sit through a movie without drifting off 10 minutes in and I'm in half guard top, trying to advance and pass half guard, and secure a dominant position, and then the next thing you know, the film is half over, and I have no clue what's going on, So I'm just in my little bubble right now to attain gold, and that's really it.